So this is going to be about um, a dream, a vision that I had. Real quickly, I had a couple of days ago. Okay, so let me get on right into it. Oh, what is this? Orientation is locked. Block and rotate. What is it? Orientation. Okay, it don't matter. I don't know why it says orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Rotate device back. Alrighty. Okay, let me just get a picture. My part tart. Okay, it still says that on the screen. Okay, but anyways, let me get into what I'm talking about. The dream that I had, or the vision, or whatever, a few nights ago. So, I'm assuming that this was me giving birth because it felt like it was me giving birth, okay? So it happened, like I said, I couldn't see myself. So like I said, I can't like, oh, I looked in the mirror and I seen my face. No, it wasn't nothing like that. So I didn't see myself, but I just felt like this particular time, this was actually me. Okay. So I'm outside in the field. It's like the grass is cut low. It's like what I guess the valley. That's the kind of area that it is. It's like when like further off to the side, it's like trees like further back though. So it's like all this grassland and it's nice and beautiful. The grass is cut, it's like no weeds or nothing there, and it's like bits and pieces of trees popping up, but it was like not dead. They was like blossoming and blooming, like a nice kind of a peaceful in nature kind of a way, kind of a thing. And it was dark. Okay. So it was dark, but, well, not dark, dark, but it was like a evening kind of a lighting, so it wasn't bright daytime, whatever. It wasn't in the afternoon, but I mean, who knows? It could have been, but all I'm saying is like far as the lighting of the sky and the view, it wasn't pitch black dark, but it was like a evening kind of a setting. Okay. So I'm like laying down, well, like in a birthing position. So I'm not laying on my back, like I given birth 5 times. Yeah, I give him. I'm sorry. I got 4 sons and 1 daughter. So I give him birth 5 times. The first time for my son, he's 21 years old now. I had an epidural with him because it was just like watching the movies and the ladies screaming and everybody just like, oh, give me an epidural, yada yada yada, like painful. The women sweating and yelling and cussing. I'm just like, okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get an epidural. But I did get the epidural at the last moment that I can get one, like whatever centimeters. I think this probably was like 7 centimeters is the last centimeter you can get like an epidural, I believe. I could be wrong, but whatever the last centimeter that they offer you epidural, that's the one I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and take it, at the last one, whatever, whatever. So I had an epidural with my first son. But the rest of them, I already told myself I'm gonna do natural because I'm like, even with me getting the epidural with my son, yes, I couldn't feel anything, but I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about. Oh my goodness, that was so funny because I was literally peeing. Oh my goodness, with my first son. After I got the epidural, I had to pee. So, I mean, I didn't know I had to pee. Okay, I did not know I had to pee, but it was funny. Oh my goodness, the doctor came inside and was like, "Okay, let me check your water." My and all of my pregnancies or birth, I should say, they had to manually pop my water bag. Okay, they had to manually pop all of them. My water didn't break naturally. They had to do the little sticky thing and pull, and the bag burst. The water came out. All that stuff. So, anyways, with my first son, this is just a side note with him, with the birth of him. So The doctor came in. The doctor was like, "Oh, let me check and see did your water break and yada yada yada." So I'm like, "Okay." And this is after the epidural, okay? So they told me to sit up a little bit and yada yada yada. So they put back, the sheet, so they can just see all of me inside. You know what I mean? So they just seen my legs open and everything. So while I'm sitting back and I seen this water, it's like a water. It was like the water was like shooting up and then coming down, like literally, like it was going past my knees. You know how you gotta have your knees raised up. So I'm laying back and I just seen like, like coming, going up and going down, like the water, like going like a water fountain, basically, like going up and going down. So he was like, "Oh, your water breaking now." So I'm like, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking, mind you, this is my first time ever giving birth and whatever. So I'm like, okay, this is normal. My water just broke and the water is coming up and shooting down like literally like a water fountain. Okay. And I'm seeing the water coming way up high and then just trickling down. So once it finished, he checked and he was like, "Oh no, wait a minute, you just peed. That wasn't your water." I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I was like laughing, but I was just like, "Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing." But I'm like, should I be embarrassed? Like, I don't know. I couldn't feel anything. I didn't know I was peeing. I mean, it was just, that was just a moment. Okay. That was a funny moment for me peeing, after the epidural, but thinking thought it was my water breaking, but I actually was peeing. Hey, I couldn't feel anything. But anyways, he was the only child that I had an epidural with. Okay. So yeah, the rest of them, I was just like, I can handle the pain because I'm just thinking like back in the day, all these women they ain't have no epidurals. When they out in the field, when they was back in the day giving birth, they probably bite down on his towel and push this baby out, that kind of a thing. So I'm like, it can't be that bad. And then my mom, she had my son, with no epidural. She had my son. She had my brother. My bad. My mom gave birth to my brother with no epidural because by the time she reached the hospital, hallway, he was like head out, like head sticking out of the vagina. So she ain't even had time to get no epidural. But I'm like, it's a whole lot of women that, I like after I thought about it, I'm like, it's a whole lot of women that giving birth without an epidural. So, and I'm like, the pain and my pain to tolerance is high. Wait, did I say that right? My tolerance to pain is high. My pain to tolerance the pain. Y'all, okay, whatever. Is a bit high, whatever. Like, being pregnant and like how the nurses, being in labor, the different times and the nurses coming in the room and it's like a scale 1 to 10 and 10 being the most excruciating pain that you ever had, like that face is red, it's like pictures of like smiley faces and like sad faces and frowns and everything from like 1 to 10, and the nurse asks you from 1 to 10 on the scale, like how bad is your pain, well, how's your pain level? They ain't gonna say how bad your pain, but how's your pain level? So in my mind, this is like a mental thing too. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm not even reaching 10 because 10 just looks like you just like she hawking it up. So I'm like, I know I'm not going to be reaching no 10 because no, that's not me. And I'm like, I know I'm not going to be reaching a 9 because 9 is close to 10. So if I'm like at a 9, that means I'm damn near might as well be a 10. So I'm like, I know I'm not going to be a 9. So I was like, well, 8. But this is like my mental thing. Like going in, I'm like 8 would probably be my highest level that mentally that I'm gonna say is a pain. But then I'm like 8 is close to 9. So I'm like, if I'm close to 9, I'm close to 10. Man, this must be going on in my head. So I'm like so for me, I'm like my goal is to just stay the highest is at a 7. The highest is at a 7 no matter how when they ask me, what's your pain level? Hey, if it's a 5, then I'm gonna say it's a 5. They come back in 2 hours later. What's your pain level? 5.5. I would not like the highest would be like I said a 7, but I think for my daughter, when I had her, I think the highest I went, well, with her, I think it was like 7.5. The rest of them, yeah, I think probably was like a 7.5. I don't know, maybe my second son, I probably said an 8. I probably said an 8 with my second son. But yeah, but I know the rest of them was like in the sevens, maybe 7.5. And I was like, I ain't gonna say no 8. Because like mentally, especially if I'm only like freaking like 7 centimeters, 8 centimeters, and I'm talking about an 8, and I still got like 2 more to go. Like nah. So I'm like, shoot, 7 centimeters. Oh, I'm at a 5. I'm at a 6. But anyways, getting back to the dream. I ain't gonna say getting back to it because I ain't even start when I'm about to say what this video about. But but yeah. So needless to say, I only had the epidural with my first son, with my first child, because how it looked, how it was portrayed on TV and in the movies and everything. And like I said, women sweating and cussing and screaming. I'm like, yeah, let me get that epidural. But I really ain't even, afterwards, I'm like, I probably could have did without it. Like that was my mindset after giving birth to my son. So I made it my attention, my goal. I'm like, well, the next time I get pregnant, I'm just not going to have one, because I got the epidural with my first son, and the pain wasn't that bad, but it was like the last moment that I could get one, and I was like, I didn't know what to expect after that. So I'm just like, let me just go ahead and get it. But the pain was like doable. When I say that breathing helps, it does, because that what was going on with me. That breathing, how you like, breathe in, breathe out, and like stay calm. That actually helped. Well, I know it helped me. I know everybody is different, but that breathing while you in labor helped me. That did goodness for me. And the only pain that I really felt giving birth naturally, when not no without an epidural, was when it came to the part of like when them coming out. I think the head, like when they, because I had to get a few stitches. What, for my second son, I got a stitch, and I think that was it. Yeah, I think my second son, I got stitches. My first son, I had to get stitches. You know, I guess they call it the fire. What do they call it? The ring of fire. I think that's what it's called. But I know my daughter, I didn't have to get no stitches and whatever. But listen, I don't know. It's years ago. Um, but the point is, the only pain that I felt maybe for like 2 to 3 seconds was that moment when they like came out of me, and it was just like, wow, oop, I'm all loud. Sorry, I got my the door closed. But yeah, it was just like, like that, for like 2 or 3 seconds. And then like that was it. After that, it was just like, oh shoot, that's it. What? This whole time, that was it. That's what I just had to prepare myself for. Them 2 to 3 seconds. That was the most pain for far as giving birth go. But anyways, so finally to the story. Okay. So finally to the story. The dream, the vision that I had. So I'm in a field, laying down on my back, whatever. Again, it's like in the evening time. It's not really dark, dark, but it's like getting there, in a sense. And the field is nice. It's like beautiful, whatever. I know the scenery was nice. So, anyways, I'm laying down in the field, and I knew that I was pregnant because I knew that it was time for me to be giving birth. I knew that I was about to have a baby. So I'm laying down. I have somebody with me. It probably was other people with me, but I know this particular person, at least one person was there, like guiding me and everything like that. At least knew there was like one, at least one other person was there with me. So I remember laying down. So it was time for me to push. So when the baby came out, why this sucker wasn't a baby? And they ain't mean to call it a sucker, but why I pushed out a freaking egg? It was an egg, but it was a clear see-through egg. Like, how can like the amniotic sac. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When you give birth and then that clear, and you know what? I've seen some babies. I think it rarely happens, but it does happen when a baby, when the lady pushed out the baby and the baby is still contained inside that liquid pouch. thing, like that's what I pushed out. So it wasn't like an egg. It wasn't like a shell, or soft shell. It was like a clear liquid, a jelly egg shape, and I'm gonna say maybe about 7 pounds. So I was, so it was like quote unquote the normal size of a baby, because what is normal. But I'm just say 7 pounds, and I'm using quotation marks, okay? Because I might say a 7 pound baby is not normal, but like I'm using quotation marks, okay? So it was like 7 pound egg shaped, clear ball, I don't know, that came out of me, okay? And you can see it, it's clear inside. So what was inside was just glowing light. When I say I birthed it light, it was in the shape of an egg. Again, it was like the clear, soft, filmy, material, the amniotic sac. So the glow light was inside of it. When that thing came out of me and it was like glowing, and before it came out of me, yes, we seen the light. It was like, oh, okay, it's a light down there. And when I pushed that sucker out, it was a light. And it wasn't like a blinding light, like, oh my goodness, it's so bright. It's so bright. I can't look at it. No, it wasn't like that. Your eyes can handle the light that I birthed it out, in this egg form. So why the person who was with me, I'm naked or whatever, just gave birth. We in the field, we outside, we in in nature. The person placed the egg on my chest. You know how like you place a regular baby in a mother's arms, So the person placed the egg shaped glow light, like the whole egg was glowing, okay? Mind you, it's in an amniotic sac, so it wasn't a hard shell, if y'all can picture what I'm saying. Gave me my baby egg that was a glow light. And then so I'm holding it and I'm like caressing it, like rubbing it with my hand. So then the layers start to come down, like that clear film was like pulling back and coming down. And then what was inside the egg was tiny, when I say millions and tiny lights, millions and tiny lights. So, oh my goodness. Whew. Man, I'm feeling it now. So all them tiny lights started to fly. Like when oh my, like I can't even, like I see it and it's I can't even freaking explain it. But I see it. It's like when you like say you unzipping something, and when you unzipping the thing, like the stuff come out from it. Like, hopefully I'm explaining it in a sense where y'all can picture what I'm saying. I know it. I know what I'm saying because I seen it. I was there, you know. So so all these lights, these tiny little lights, started flying and going all out of the egg shape, So it was like that one egg that was glowing had millions of tiny lights in there. It yeah, seemed like it was millions. It was a lot of lights, okay, that made up that one big ass light. So, anyways, once all the lights and stuff got the glow lights, the lights came from the egg, the skin, everything was just started flying and whatever. So I remember looking back, and by this time it was dark. By this time it was dark, and I remember looking up at the sky, and it seemed like, I kid y'all not, it seemed like them tiny lights became stars. I'm like, did I just birth stars? Did I just given birth to stars? But the thing is, also the person who was with me, like I said, probably was other people around, but I remember the person who was with me, like I felt their energy, who gave me my baby egg. When how can I say that, when they approached me again with their hand, they did something, and then they was glowing. Well, I looked up and then I seen that they was glowing. They wasn't glowing at first, but now like their whole body was just glowing, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So, and that was basically it. So, but from that, I'm thinking one of them glow lights that was flying probably went inside the person who was with me and made them glow. So I'm thinking all them glow lights, some of them went to to the stars, and some of them probably were just flying around and then finding people to have people glow, if that makes sense. Well, I'm picturing glowworm. Glowworm. I had one of them when I was a kid in the 80s, the glowworm. But anyways, yeah, that was my nightlight when I was when I was a little girl, a toy glowworm. But but yeah, what time is it? It is 3:01. Okay, but that's all that I really wanted to say. Yeah, so that was an interesting vision or dream or just something in the future. I don't know. But I mean, I basically given birth or gave birth to stars, or even I gave birth to, and or, it could be either way, always, whatever way, whatever you think this dream is about, my vision, hey, it is what it is. Or, and or I, the glow, found different people all over, and then everybody had their glowiness. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. But I mean, it was a good thing. I don't feel like no kind of evilness or badness came to me birthing this glow, this light. Like I literally gave birth 7 pounds worth of this light that end up being tiny little lights flying around, I guess, to find their owners. I don't know. So yeah, glow lights, glow worms, glow people, glow ups. But all right, yeah, that's just something to think about. But okay, bye.